Hello and welcome to this lesson. This is part of media training for researchers. So today we are going to look at strategic media engagement for researchers, that is maximizing research impact and advancing academic career through media. So the learning objective will be 1. By the time you complete this unit, you will be able to articulate the strategic value of media engagement for research, dissemination, and career development. Evaluate and apply successful media strategies for case studies. Develop a personalized media engagement plan. Create compelling audience-specific research communication. And navigate ethical considerations in media interaction. So welcome. We start with the strategic value of media engagement. So the first benefit of researchers engaging in media is amplified research impact. It boosts visibility and citation. Media-covered research receives 5 to 10 or more citations, that is according to Nature 2019. Then there's influence on policy, enables direct communication of finding to decision makers, increasing the likelihood of policy uptake. Another benefit of engaging with media for researchers is career development and advancement. It increases visibility among funders and peers by building a recognizable scholarly brand, attracting grant and institutional recognition. Again, under career development and advancements, there's leadership opportunities, invitation to speak at conferences, sit on advisory panels, and contribute to national or global dialogues. And then the last one is contribution to public good, combating misinformation. This is public-facing content help counteract pseudoscience and promote evidence-based thinking. Mentorship through visibility. You inspire aspiring scholars and broaden public trust in research. So we are saying there are three benefits. We are saying there are three benefits of engaging in media. 1 is amplified research impact, 2 is career development and advancement, and 3 is contribution to the public good. Next, we look at audience-centric communication. As you communicate your research findings, you need to take care of the audience, and therefore you need to tailor your research message for maximum impact. So let's look at typical audiences. 1 is general public. So the goal is to make complex science relatable and memorable. And the techniques that you'll use when communicating to the general public include use analogs, and then employ visual metaphors, frame research as a human story with emotional resonance, and avoid jargon. Preferably use plain language with analogs from everyday life. When communicating to journalists, the goal is to help media professionals quickly understand and share your work. Technique: provide timely hook. Link finding to current event or societal issues. Prepare 3 concise key messages: the headline, the quote, and the context. Also offer visual assets such as infographics, data visuals, or simple diagrams. And then share implications clearly. What does the public need to know from your work? When talking to policymakers, the goal is to support informed decision making through evidence. Techniques to use: write one-page policy brief highlighting practical relevance. Use cost-benefit framing and real-world implication scenarios, and offer recommendations, not just findings. Be succinct and solution-focused. Here is what we know and what we should do. As you communicate your findings, you need to understand about platforms, and therefore we are going to look at platform optimization. Optimizing research dissemination across media channels. So in media channels, we have the traditional media, which is the television and podcast. So for television, it's best suited for visual compelling research, e.g., medical procedures, environmental studies with satellite imagery. Leverage visual and concise message. For podcast, it's ideal for narrative-rich research, e.g., anthropology, ethics, or social sciences. It enables deep dives into researchers' motivation and findings through storytelling. The other platform is the digital media, and we are looking at a few here. We want to look at Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. For Twitter, it's optimal for real-time research updates, reprint announcements, or live conference insights. You use structured thread where you have the hook, context, finding, and implication. We look at the thread later on in this lesson. For LinkedIn, it strengthens professional presence, post achievements, it has institutional partnerships or insights tailored for funders and collaborators. YouTube, greater for method demonstration, project documentation, or student-facing explanations. Pair visual demonstrations with plain language narrations. Then we have a category of emerging platforms such as TikTok, Substack. So TikTok engages younger or non-specialist audience with 60-second explainers, behind-the-scenes lab clips, or did you know research facts. Substacks is for long-form, expert-driven reflection, ideal for ongoing series on research processes, public policy applications, or commentary on trending scientific insights. Choose platforms based not only on where your audience is, but how they consume and engage with the content. Match your message format to platform expectations. How to develop narrative. We have research story framework, which I mentioned earlier. We have the hook, conflict resolution, and impact. So for hook, begin with a proactive question, surprising fact, or emotional trigger that grabs attention. Example, what if a virus could be programmed to cure cancer? And then go to the conflict. Introduce the challenge or knowledge gap. This adds tension and relevance. In research, this is a problem. Example, despite decades of research, aggressive cancer still defy treatment. And then go to resolution. Describe your contribution, method, or breakthrough. Example, we engineered a virus to target only cancer cells, leaving healthy cells unharmed. And then impact. Show the broader implication, why it matters for society, policy, or innovation. Example, this opens a pathway to non-invasive treatment with global health care potential. Application tips in narrative development. Focus on people. Who benefits? Who is affected? Keep language conversational and visual. Use metaphors and analogies. And then limit jargons. Use plain terms to expand your reach. Practice example. We have the CRISPR babies. So the hook is the world's first gene-edited babies were born in secret. Conflict. The scientific community was blindsided. Ethics were ignored. Resolution. Global Global condemnation led to call for regulatory reforms. And impact, the scandal reshaped how we govern emerging biotechnologies. So let's look at preparing for interviews. So we prepared here an interview preparation matrix. So let's look at live TV. You prepare sound bites and accompanying visuals that convey key points quickly and clearly. We are going to see in the next slide more details. For print, offer succinct, quotable phrases easily lifted and used by journalists. Podcast, structure your responses with an outline of 2 to 3 key points to keep the message focused and engaging. Professional tips, always prepare these 3 essentials. 1. Compelling statistics. 2. Relate to human story. And 3. Clear call to action. So, interview preparation matrix, we have the format, preparation focus, the common pitfalls, and effective strategies. So for live TV, focus on short, impactful sound bites, engaging visuals. Common pitfalls, speaking too technical or too long. Effective strategy, practice 15 key messages. Practice 15-second key messages. Use props and graphics. Print, preparation focus on memorable, quotable phrases, accurate context. Common pitfalls, being misquoted or too vague. Effective strategy, prepare three message point with examples and clarification. Podcasts, structured conversational storytelling. Common pitfalls, rambling or drifting off topic. Effective strategy, create a timestamp outline. Rehearse key transitions. Radio, focus on tone and clarity. Vivid verbal imagery. Common pitfalls, flat delivery or jargon-heavy speech. Effective strategy, use analogies, emphasize tone and tempo. We move on to building media relationship. There are steps that you need to take to build a healthy media relationship. So step 1, identify key media contacts. Use platforms like Haro or Macrack or Twitter to find journalists and editors in your field. Follow science writers, podcast hosts, and institutional press officers. Step 2, engage authentically. Like, comment, and repost their comments with meaningful insights. Join relevant threads, share your expertise, and build credibility over time. Step 3, craft and send your pitch. Subject, expert available, timely topic or unique insight. Just a way of framing a subject. And then email body, less than 150 word, a strong new hook. Include your brief credentials and clear availability for interview or comments. So let's look at social media optimization. In social media, we look at Twitter, the first one. So there is the thread strategy. Structure your research as hook. Grab attention with a surprising fact or question. And then context. Briefly explain the problem space. And then findings. Share your core results or insights. Implications. Why it matters. Real world application. And then tips. Professional tips. Use numbered tweets, hashtags, and images to improve engagement. LinkedIn engagement framework. Structure impactful LinkedIn posts as first one, problem. Describe a relatable or timely challenge. 2. Insight. Introduce your research insights or takeaways. And 3. Engagement. Ask a question or invite feedback. E.g., have you seen similar results? Professional tips. Use spacing, bullet point, and emojis to improve readability.